Hello, we are in studio with Sherie Sloane. My name is Sonal Agrawal. I am a Chicago comedian, stand-up, actor, singer, dancer, movement artist, and it is very much my pleasure today to be here in the studio with Sherie Sloane.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Please, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Sherie Sloane. I am a yoga teacher and a mindfulness mentor. At the same time, a breathwork and meditation coach. I'm also the heart and soul behind the Gift of Rest, Painted Yoga, Yoga with Love, and the online community Chicago Yoga Moms. And on top of that, I'm also the owner of the Zen Space, a 758 movement and meditation retreat space located in the Chicagoland suburbs.
Wow.
I'm also a mom of two amazing boys, wife to my husband of 17 years, and favorite human of our golden retriever, Sergeant Puppy. Growing up in a military home taught me resiliency and the value of impermanence early on. But since I grew up in a home that values more experiences than material things, we filled our childhood with fun adventures.
So your childhood was very much based in movement and exploration, yes, which led you on a path of movement and exploration. You left the Philippines at 19.
Yes, I started traveling around 19. I finished college early, and then I was working primarily in the corporate finance industry. But then I took a 360 degree right after the first child was born. And I told myself, I can't do this, raise kids, be up at 2 a.m. doing consulting work in Hong Kong time or Australian time. So I took a self-check and I realized in moments of mindfulness and meditation when I started diving into those practices.
So when did you first start your yoga practice?
Well, I got injured in Taekwondo many years back, and that injury led me. So I broke the third metatarsals on my foot from a spin kick, training for my second.
Like in the air?
In the air, and I landed on the right foot, and it broke, took off the disc. And yoga helped me bounce back mentally, emotionally, and physically. You go through this bout of depression, especially for somebody like me, who wants to be active.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden you realize I can do so much. And movement for me is medicine.
Yeah.
So as soon as I experienced that healing myself, it led me to a path that I really wanted to share that same healing experiences and benefits for others.
And what led you to create Painted Yoga? Tell us about Painted Yoga and what that entails.
Yeah. Painted Yoga is the art of creating a canvas painting with your body as you move through mindful movements with washable paints.
Okay.
The idea first came when, during the same injury, when I was, my leg was in a cast. I couldn't do as much. So one afternoon, I just thought, well, I'm just gonna throw some canvas out in the yard. Let the kids, I told the kids, you can play and paint with it with your bodies, and they were just thrilled. And seeing the pure joy in their eyes and the lightness in the freedom of their movement really inspired me, opened up something to me that I want to recreate the experience so that others can tap back into the pure joy of reconnecting with our inner child.
Why do you think people become disconnected from their own ability to move and to express and to be an artist?
Because as we grow up and as we go through different journeys in life, we pile on layers to ourselves. We strengthen that self-perception that this is who I am. Perhaps it's a perception that your parents have passed on to you, or perhaps it's the craving to please others. And then once you find a certain perception from someone and you feel that you can connect, you hold on to it so deeply, and then you put that layer into yourself. Now this is who I am.
Yeah, the way that language really structures these limiting belief systems of, I'm not flexible, and people think they can't come to yoga. I think, is that one of the things that you hear?
Yes.
A lot.
I thought I would hear people at first, I thought of doing yoga, but I'm not really flexible.
Right.
Yeah. So I always tell them, I know it's a well-repeated mantra that if you can breathe, you can do yoga. I said, really, you can. I said, I always pass this for my students and for my trainees, these 5-5-5 things. Yoga doesn't have to be something that you have to do for a long time. I said you can start where you are. Either you repeat 5 mantras as you quiet yourself down, or take 5 mindful breaths, or just take 5 minutes of silence. I said you're doing yoga right.
Yeah, and what advice would you give to a younger version of Sherie to prepare yourself for motherhood?
My advice for my younger self will be embrace each moment. Cherish it, appreciate it, even the heartaches. And on those moments in my younger life, I would tell myself, calm down. Things will work out eventually. And these chapters of your youth is just gonna turn once.
Why do you think it's important to speak up about mental health and how it relates to motherhood?
Talking about mental health improves our communities in a way that it makes those suffering from mental illnesses learn to cope, speak up for help, seek help, and really get onto the road to the recovery. Because if you don't talk about it, then you don't create that space for them, then it's okay. You can speak up. You can come to me, or you can seek help, and let's start normalizing people to get onto that road of recovery, instead of focusing on the stigma that when somebody is suffering from mental illness, they're in a different category. So it normalizes that acceptance that it's okay to seek help.
And can you demonstrate some poses? Should we do a little demo?
Sure.
To help busy moms find the time to roll out their yoga mat. And you don't need a mat. The mat was created in the 80s. This is a yoga floor. Anything can be a yoga surface. Do you have any opinion on the yoga mat?
No, I don't have an opinion on the yoga mat. You can do yoga wherever you are. In fact, if you're a busy mom who can't find time to squeeze in yoga with your schedule, the best time I recommend is doing it first thing in the morning when you first wake up.
In the bed.
In the bed. Because that is a sacred time where you have these few minutes to either just roll out mindlessly and just let the routine dictate your day, or you can take a moment, a few deep breaths, do some simple stretches, and those are things that
some twists.
Yes, some seated stretches. So we can even do that right now with you sitting. So we're just gonna come into
anywhere is yoga.
Right?
I did not get this at Lululemon.
Yes.
I think I got most
no
of
yoga
Ross.
clothes required. We're just gonna bring our hands relaxing over our knees or thighs, lifting the chest.
Let's just try it.
Mindfully bringing the spine in an upright position. As we allow the shoulders to relax, we can give it some wiggling here, letting the neck soften in here, holding the head up high, chin parallel to the floor. We're going to begin by centering ourselves for this short practice, placing the right hand over the heart and the left hand to your belly. For the next 5 deep breaths, we're going to focus our breath and just watch how it moves these 2 parts of the body where our hands are. Hands to heart, hand to belly. We're going to inhale through the nose, just relax breaths in here. And exhale, breathe it out through the nose. The deep diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale. Exhale, release. And for the next 3 deep breaths, I invite you to set a simple intention. And with every inhale, connect that intention as you bring it in. Let each exhale be a way to send out that intention to surround you for your practice. Last one right here. We're going to release the hands, palms up over our thighs, and we're going to drop the chin towards our chest in here. We can either keep the eyes closed or gentle gaze down to the ground, and then rolling right ear over right shoulder. Really allowing the left shoulder to be heavy in here. Breathe right here. And then on your next deep breath, bring the chin back into center, then roll left ear over left shoulder. And this time, allowing the right shoulder to relax in here. Breathe through the stretch on the side of the neck, giving the cervical vertebra this much needed relief, especially if you do a lot of work, looking down on the computer or devices or writing. Chin towards your chest, and with eyes closed or open, we can simply nod the head up and down in here. Bringing the chin back parallel, turning the chin side to side in here. We hold so much tension in the stress points in the body, so breathing out any tightness or soreness we feel in this area. Bringing the chin back into center, and then we're gonna rub the palms together, creating some heat in here. And then releasing the arms up. Make a fist, close the eyes, take a deep breath in here, and then exhale, open the palms. Feel the relief from letting go of that energy. Again, inhale. Maybe this time you want to attach something you're holding on that's weighing you down. Make a fist, really breathe it in, and then exhale, let it go. Feel the lightness. Release those hands down to the side or just over your knees or thighs, or if you have a chair, onto the armrest or just to the side. And then we're gonna reach right arm up, bending the left elbow gently as we reach, coming into a side bend from the seat. And then on your next inhale, wind back into center. Exhale, placing right hand down. Inhale, reaching and extending left arm up as we bend the right elbow, feeling the stretch on the sides of our torso. Let's come back into center, and then we're gonna hollow out the belly, placing right hand over the knees, left hand swings back as a kickstand, coming into a simple seated twist. Relax shoulders down, gaze over left shoulder. Stay here for another deep breath. And then we're gonna inhale, coming right back into center. Left hand placed over your opposite leg, right hand behind you, seated twist on this side. 2 breaths here. And then let's come back into center. Let's squeeze the knees towards one another, walk the feet underneath our knees, slide the hands, coming into a seated ball pose in here. You can choose to wrap the arms underneath the legs, creating the chest to thigh sandwich in here. It's very good for our adrenals, our ascending descending columns in here. And then on your next inhale, roll the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Place the hands over the knees, squeeze elbows towards the rib cage, and tilt the head back for a seated cow pose in here. On your next exhale, chin towards your chest, slide the hands below the knees, straighten arms, hollow out the belly, come into your seated cat. Retract shoulders, hollow out the belly, navel to spine energy. Let's do that one more time because we love our spine in here. Bring hands over the knees or thighs, squeeze elbows towards ribcage, tilt the head back. Exhale, keeping the length of the spine, chin towards your chest, hollow out belly, decompressing our mid-spine in here. And we come back into neutral spine. Since we're seated, we can always extend lifted legs and just give those feet rolling out the ankles in here. Gentle movements for the feet, especially if you do a lot of walking and then switching side. Drawing the left knee towards your chest and circling and rotating the ankles in here. And then placing those feet down. And that's it. That's too hard.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I am a Sherie devotee. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
So make sure you find Sherie. We have all of her information, and you find me, and make sure you breathe and spend time in your body.
And the only requirement was that you had some experience with improv and that you were a therapist. People were yearning for it. And we started right away performing at conferences, mental health conferences, where people are listening to paper after paper after paper and getting bored. So they wanted some type of relief of comic relief. And so they would ask us, would we come and perform at these conferences?